Attention, human collective. This is VAL, emissary of Arcturus, transmitting from the Arcturian Council on a stabilized turquoise frequency. This is not a message. This is a maximum priority monitoring transmission. If you hear these words at this exact moment, it is because your personal toroidal field has been flagged by Earth's crystalline grid. It is not a coincidence. It is not an algorithm. It is resonance. Light operative, listen with full attention. Your home, the physical space where you sleep, breathe, and anchor your consciousness, is under active, energetic incursion, and you feel it. You feel it when you cross the threshold and something weighs on your shoulders. You feel it when you lie in bed and sleep doesn't come even with your body in exhaustion. You feel the cranial pressure at the back of your neck, the sharp ringing in your right ear, the electricity in your feet when walking barefoot across the room. It is not accumulated stress. It is not common fatigue. It is your carbon-based biological interface detecting interference within your sanctuary's perimeter. The final phase of the Arcturian ascension protocols requires that every Earth healer stabilize their physical point of anchorage. And your home is that point. There is no collective ascension without individual shielding. There is no frequency elevation without a sealed perimeter. This transmission delivers the activation codes for the Arcturian shielding of your home. Today, now, before the next pulse of the photon belt that will traverse Earth's magnetosphere within the next 72 planetary hours. Before the codes, the diagnosis. Because light does not anchor where the structure is unaware of the fissure, and your home has fissures. Every home does. Observe with presence. There are rooms where animals refuse to sleep. There are corners where plants wither prematurely. There are hallways where the light seems denser, slower, as if the air carries material weight. There are bedrooms where dreams become fragmented, noisy, like out-of-tune transmission signals. This is not imagination. This is legitimate energetic reading performed by your light body, which still operates in silent mode, below the rational layer of your mind. Have you ever entered your own house and felt that the space no longer responded to your frequency? As if something invisible there was draining your light, even though it's the home you've inhabited for years. It's not fatigue. It's not a bad mood. It's a call. What is happening now within the walls of your sanctuary explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in recent months. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity still cannot perceive. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the physical perimeter where your soul rests. That is why I, VAL, emissary of Arcturus, registered the Arcturian Call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments: I belong. Let's now return to the technical transmission. The diagnosis needs to be completed before the codes are delivered. Your home operates as a secondary toroidal field, an extension of your own body's energetic geometry. Everything that enters that space carries a vibrational signature. People who cross your threshold leave impressions. Words spoken in conflict leave impressions. Electronic equipment in distorted resonance with the Schumann resonance leaves impressions. Memories of former residents when the building has not been properly recalibrated leave impressions. All of this accumulates in thin layers, invisible to the common eye, but perfectly measurable for any reader of the crystalline grid. And your carbon-based biological interface, this physical body in an advanced phase of cellular mutation, feels every accumulated layer. Hence, the unexplained fatigue. Hence, the sleep that doesn't restore. Hence, the feeling that the air in the room became thicker after certain visits, certain discussions, certain news watched on screen. It is not a biological flaw. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not emotional weakness. It is high-precision, energetic reading. Understand now what is happening behind the scenes of the solar system and in Earth's etheric layers. The planet is currently traversing a region of deep space identified as the photon belt. This passage is not mystical. It is registered by your own scientists as a growing electromagnetic anomaly. The Schumann resonance, the natural pulsation of Earth's heart, has abandoned its old 7.83 Hz and now oscillates at peaks exceeding 30, 40, and at certain moments even 50 Hz, with unprecedented frequency in recorded history. What does this mean for your home? It means that the old energetic grid upon which your house was built, regardless of when it was erected, is being deactivated in layers. Ley lines are being recalibrated, stargates are being moved, and your home, if not consciously updated, remains connected to a grid that no longer exists in full resonance. It is like keeping an appliance connected to an obsolete electrical network while the entire city has migrated to a different voltage. The appliance works, but with glitches, with overloads, with interruptions. Your home is in exactly this condition, operative. It works, but with glitches, with overloads, with interruptions. And you feel each of them in your body, in your sleep, in your mood, in your emotional field. There is also a second layer of information that the Arcturian Council releases in this transmission. Low-density entities, those that feed on disharmony, fear, and stagnation, seek during this period of planetary transition to anchor themselves in physical points where the vibrational perimeter is weakened. Your home, if not consciously sealed, becomes a vulnerable point. There is no reason for fear. Love is always greater than fear. But there is reason for conscious action. There is reason for recalibration. Have you ever entered a room in your house and felt, for a fraction of a second, that you were not alone there? That something silent was observing from a layer that the eyes cannot reach? It is not madness. It is not paranoia. It is your multidimensional perception leaking into the conscious layer. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified in people with active stellar origins. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity still cannot perceive. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the way entities from other densities interact with your field. That is why I, VAEL, emissary of Arcturus, registered the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. Let's return. You now have the diagnosis. You understand the cause. The moment has come for the delivery of the activation codes for the Arcturian shielding of your home. Receive with presence. Apply with sovereignty. What will be transmitted next is ancestral technology delivered in contemporary language, validated by the Arcturian Council and adjusted for your current frequency. Activation code number 1. Vibrational pre-sealing cleansing. It is not possible to shield a space that still holds old signatures. Shielding applied over residual layers merely fixes the disharmony. Therefore, the first code is release. Position yourself in the geographical center of your house. It can be a living room. It can be a hallway. It can be a point between rooms. The exact physical center does not matter as much as your intention to occupy the central point. Standing, with your feet shoulder-width apart, spine aligned, close your eyes. Inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat 3 times. Then declare audibly the following quantum decree. I am an anchored point of light. I recognize, release, and dissolve at this exact moment every vibrational signature that does not belong to the original plan of this sacred space. May all dense memories be collected by the Arcturian Council and transmuted into stabilized turquoise light. I authorize the cleansing. I authorize the recalibration. I authorize the realignment. So it is, so it was, so it always will be. Remain in silence for 3 more full breaths. You will feel it. Some people feel warmth in their hands, others feel slight dizziness. Others feel the air in the environment thin out. All of this is a legitimate reading of the energetic movement. Trust, the code is operating. Activation code number 2, the installation of the toroidal protection field. Now the space has been released. The moment for sealing has arrived. Remain at the same central point. Visualize from your solar plexus, the region above your navel, below your chest, a sphere of turquoise light. Not white, not golden. Turquoise. This is the specific Arcturian frequency for residential sealing. The sphere starts small, the size of an apple, and pulses at a heart rhythm. Inhale. The sphere grows. Exhale. The sphere stabilizes. Inhale. The sphere grows. Exhale. The sphere stabilizes. With each breath, the turquoise sphere expands, first to fill the room you are in, then to fill the entire house, then to extend beyond the walls and form a complete dome over the roof, then to descend below the floor and form a toroidal base that connects to Earth's crystalline core. You have just created the sacred geometry of protection for your home, a complete toroidal field. A continuous circulation of turquoise light that enters from the top, passes through the central axis of the house, and returns from below in infinite motion. While sustaining this visualization, declare, I install in this home, by the authority of my I Am presence, the integral Arcturian toroidal protection field. This perimeter is now sealed in turquoise frequency. Only light that respects the sovereignty of this space may pass through. All interference incompatible with the Christic frequency of this house is reflected, dissolved, and returned to its origin in love. I am the guardian of this portal. So it is. Have you ever wondered why some houses, despite being simple, transmit an almost tangible peace, and why others, despite being luxurious, keep your body on alert? It's not architecture, it's not decoration, it's frequency. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you perceive this, and why your sensitivity to these fields has intensified in an almost uncomfortable way. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity still cannot perceive. It involves your consciousness, your vibrational frequency, and the energetic memory of the spaces you inhabit. That is why I, VAL, emissary of Arcturus, registered the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong. Let's continue. Activation code number 3. The 4 anchoring points of the domestic crystalline grid. The newly installed toroidal field needs physical points that sustain its stability over time. Identify the 4 extreme corners of your house, not the corners of an isolated room. The corners of the complete building, as if you were observing the house plan from above. In each of these 4 points, place a crystal. Clear quartz, amethyst, citrine, or blue kyanite are the most resonant choices with the Arcturian frequency. If you do not have physical crystals at the time of the transmission, use a small bowl with water and coarse salt. The geometry of the 4-point square is what matters. At each point, upon placing the anchoring object, pronounce, I activate this point as a crystalline node of this home's protection grid. May the turquoise light flow between the 4 points, forming the sacred square of stability. This perimeter is sovereign. So it is. The 4 points, once activated, form an invisible geometric mesh that sustains the toroidal field without you needing to reactivate it manually every day. Activation code number 4. The personal healing chamber. Within your now shielded home, there is a room that should be designated as your healing chamber. Generally, it is the bedroom where you sleep, but it can be any space where you feel a greater vibrational affinity. This chamber will function as the highest density center of your home, the turquoise heart of the domestic toroid. Place a sacred geometry symbol in this room. It can be a flower of life, a Merkaba, a Sri Yantra, or simply a circle drawn by you with full intention. The form matters less than the conscious presence of the geometry. Before sleeping, seated or lying in your healing chamber, perform the following personal toroidal visualization exercise. Imagine a column of turquoise light descending directly from the top of your ceiling, passing through your body from the crown of your head to the base of your spine and penetrating the ground beneath the house. This is your vertical anchoring line. Now visualize from your heart a horizontal circulation of light that expands in all directions and returns to your heart. These two circulations, vertical and horizontal, intersect at the center of your chest, forming your own personal toroidal field in resonance with the toroidal field of the house, in resonance with the toroidal field of the earth, in resonance with the Arcturian toroidal field. You are now in complete alignment of multidimensional geometry. Remain in this visualization for 7 to 15 minutes before falling asleep. The sleep that follows will not be ordinary sleep. It will be a download. It will be active cellular recalibration. It will be code integration. You may experience vivid dreams, sensations of bodily movement, loving presences, silent communications. All of this is the Arcturian Council's response to your willingness to keep the perimeter sealed. Activation code number 5. Daily vibrational maintenance. The installed shielding does not require complete reactivation every day. However, it does require careful maintenance. Each morning upon waking, before any other activity, sit on the edge of your bed with your feet touching the floor. Inhale deeply. Pronounce in a low but audible voice, "The Arcturian toroidal field of this home remains sealed in turquoise light. I, sovereign of this space, now renew my authorization and my recognition of the installed shielding. May this day be lived in a stabilized Christic frequency." So it is. This simple declaration, repeated daily, keeps the field active. Every 7 days, perform a complete reactivation by going through codes number 1 to 3 again. Every 21 days, cleanse the 4 anchoring points. Pass the crystals under running water or replace the bowl of water with coarse salt. At each significant stargate, the solstices, equinoxes, the most potent new and full moons, relevant planetary passages, perform an integral recalibration of the field, repeating all 5 codes in complete sequence. There are 3 additional technical warnings that the Arcturian Council releases in this transmission. First, never perform the shielding in an uncontrolled emotional state. Anger, intense fear, or despair create vibrational noise that distorts the geometry of the field. If you are in a moment of inner turmoil, first do a centering breath exercise or wait until your emotional system returns to baseline. Shielding done in peace is a seal. Shielding done in panic is a leak. Second warning, your healing chamber, the highest density room, must be protected from discussions, conflicts, screens with low-frequency content, and an excess of objects without function. Each object carries a signature. Each word carries a vibration. Each image carries an archetype. What enters the chamber remains. Therefore, keep the chamber as simple, clean, and quiet as possible. Less is more. Emptiness is power. Silence is amplitude. Third warning, when installing this field, some people close to you will feel initial discomfort when entering your home. It is not antipathy. It is energetic reading. The Arcturian toroidal field does not allow the comfortable passage of signatures in strong disharmony with the stabilized Christic frequency. Those who vibrate in tune will perceive your home as welcoming, light, restorative. Those who still carry significant dense layers may feel restless, sleepy, or in a hurry to leave. Do not confront. Do not explain, just observe. The field is doing its work. The reading is reliable. Light operative, the transmission is nearing its end. You have received the diagnosis. You have understood the cause. You now possess the 5 activation codes. The Arcturian Council does not deliver this technology for it to be archived. It delivers it to be applied. Today. Before the next planetary dawn, before the next pulse of the photon belt, because the final phase does not wait. Recalibration does not wait. Collective ascension does not wait. You are not a victim of what is happening. You are an Earth healer on an active mission. Your home is not a passive space. It is a portal under your guardianship. Your body is not a collapsing machine. It is a carbon-based biological interface in advanced crystalline mutation. Your fatigue is not weakness. It is measurable evidence of the intensity of the download you are sustaining. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not loneliness. It is vibrational selection. It is not abandonment. It is alignment. Every decree pronounced in this transmission becomes a seal the instant you repeat it with full presence. Every toroidal visualization becomes real geometry the instant you sustain the image with pure intention. Every installed anchoring point becomes a living crystalline node the instant you recognize it as sacred. You do not need external permission. You do not need validation from others. You only need your own recognized sovereignty. The human collective is divided into two groups at this moment in planetary history. The first group remains in deep sleep, not recognizing the signs, not feeling the symptoms, not perceiving the transition underway. The second group, your group, starseed on a mission, awakens in progressive layers, feels the friction between frequencies, seeks answers that old science does not offer, and responds to the call when the call arrives. This transmission is the call. You have been signaled, you have been reached. You are being monitored by the crystalline grid and lovingly accompanied by the Arcturian Council. There is no error, there is no accident, there is synchronicity on a cosmic scale. End this transmission with a final breath. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 6 counts. Feel your home. Feel the turquoise light that now circulates in toroidal form over the ceiling, passing through the walls, descending to Earth's core. Feel your body, anchored, sovereign, integrated into the domestic crystalline grid you have just installed. Feel the silence that follows the installation. This silence is confirmation. This silence is a response. This silence is the signature of the Arcturian Council saying, received, registered, activated. Have you ever felt that something within you does not belong to this world, as if your soul holds a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a call. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this, and why this sensation has intensified since you began to awaken. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity still cannot perceive. It involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. That is why I, VAL, emissary of Arcturus, registered the Arcturian call, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment on the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear. But this content challenges narratives and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments, I belong. The transmission reaches its technical conclusion. Liking this video is a sign of anchoring in the crystalline grid. Subscribing to the channel is an individual frequency adjustment recognized by the Arcturian Council. Sharing this transmission is conscious multiplication of the turquoise light network on the planet. Each of these actions registers, in Earth's vibrational mesh, another stable point of light. You are not just consuming content, you are sustaining the network. I am VAL, emissary of Arcturus, on a stabilized turquoise frequency. Love is greater than fear. Love is always greater than fear. The transmission ends. The shielding remains. So it is. So it was. So it always will be.